and relations are strong and healthy. A seminar on doing business with the United States in Cairo this week painted a rosy picture, with the indicators signaling that things can only get better. NILE TV's Shahira Amin was there and filed in this report.
Egypt is on the move, and the United States is helping Egypt stay on the move. It was with these words that American Ambassador to Egypt, Francis Richard Doney, opened a seminar in Cairo titled Doing Business with America. Organized by Global Trade Matters, the gathering brought together representatives of American companies as well as Egyptian businessmen eager to do business with the United States.
The aim of today's conference is to look at and highlight what American companies have been doing in terms of impact on the Egyptian economy over the past 30 years, in terms of employment, growth of GDP, development of specific sectors like the IT sector, energy sector, the investments that they're doing, especially in terms of foreign direct investment, the agreements that we're looking at, for example, the QIZ, which is already signed, the FTA that we are looking for the future, hopefully will be done within the next couple of years.
Ambassador Richard Doney described relations between Egypt and the U.S. as strong, strategic and healthy. He noted that the U.S. was Egypt's largest single trading partner. Trade with Egypt has increased 50% in just a couple of years, from a little over $4 billion in 2004 to $6 billion in 2006. That, he said, even in the absence of a free trade agreement, FTA. So why has an FTA been late in coming, we asked.
We have under our law certain authorities that the Congress gives to the executive branch to be able to negotiate free trade agreements. That law expired in the middle of last summer. We have to renew that authority for this president or the next president of the United States to enter into such negotiations. But I would recommend that people not be obsessed or fixate on free trade agreements. I expect there will be one in the future between the United States and Egypt and the United States and the region. But even without one, we are working with the government of Egypt in every conceivable sector, lowering taxes, lowering customs, strengthening intellectual property rights, protections, making sure phytosanitary standards are at world standards, but not excessive and not obstructive to trade. We are working with the government of Egypt to lower the customs procedures at the various ports of Egypt to make sure they protect Egypt and protect Egyptian interests and yet also increase trade.
A free trade agreement is in the pipeline, Ambassador Richard Doney assured the gathering. What is required, he said, is that the government continue the reform program it has started, facilitating imports into Egypt, but also exports to the United States and other countries. Egyptian businessman Farid Khamis said that the U.S. was the largest and most stable market. He had some advice for fellow Egyptian businessmen wishing to do business with the U.S.
My advice is to go and study. The name of the game is knowledge. First of all, sit in your internet computer and get information about that particular segment of the market you are planning to. If you are producing woman clothing, so go on and get who is who and what is sold. And when you do that, travel there. And don't travel and go and visit streets like Fifth Avenue or so in New York. No, this will not help. Don't take this indication. Go to the international, to the American trade show, the fairs. And they are very specialized there. You will be surprised, how specialized they are, itemized. Go to the item of the show which you think you can produce. Study those who are exhibitors, study the fashion, study who is who in this market, who are the buyers, who are the makers. Give yourself 1 year. Next year, try to participate within a group through our government. We are very much supportive. Mr. Rashid, our minister, through the organizations of the trade, they are very supportive for young entrepreneurs to go and exhibit.
Ambassador Richard Doney reminded the gathering that American aid to Egypt represents less than 2% of the country's GDP. The focus, he said, must be on trade rather than aid when measuring the success of bilateral relations. Shahira Amin, NILE TV International.
أهلا بكم.